and welcome to my friends and future colleagues. Welcome to the first podcast of Law Talkies. We are going to be presenting the most interesting legal talks with the most interesting people. And this is an exciting collaboration between Legal Fumes and JLSR. I'm your hostess, Muskan Naran. I'm a second year law student from DY Patil University. We have set up a great lineup of speakers for you. And today, as scheduled, we have Advocate Sahil Khurana. So Advocate Sahil Khurana is a recent graduate from Vivekananda Institute of Professional Studies, where he was a part of a lot of extracurricular activities, ranging from client counseling to MUNs to moot court competitions and whatnot. Also, he has an extensive range of experience in internships. We are really excited to have you on board, sir, and we are going to pick your brains today.
Thank you, Muskan. Thank you. Thank you for a wonderful intro. And okay, I'm first of all overwhelmed with such a, overstated intro, I must say. But thanks a lot for calling me in here. And maybe I'll be some help to you guys and as well as other colleagues of mine or the students who are aspiring for the field of law. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, we are really glad to have you on board today. So let's go right ahead into the whole question line. So let's start with Why did you decide to go to law school? Like, what was the appeal to go to a law school?
Well, there are like a couple of reasons why I choose law as a field. First of all, I had, a bit of inclination towards helping the society at large. And the other point would be that I started watching Suits. So yeah, that could be one of the reasons that I, wanted to be a Harvey Specter or maybe a Danny Crane kind of guy. But yeah, see, law is something which overall, impacts the personality of an individual. It is a multi-dimensional field, and person gets to know about a lot of aspects other than just studying law. There are a lot of other activities which are involved while we study law. If maybe you guys might have been in your law school, been helping indigent while providing them free legal advices in your ADR cells or some sort of that things. So it gives a great dimension to an individual, and it helps them becoming better individuals, and gives a wider aspect altogether. So that was pretty much the thing. And also it is a very, very noble profession, to be honest. So that was the reason I chose law as my subject.
Right, sir. This is Suits was an inspiration for me as well when I was going into law school. But when you actually go into law school, you find out that there are a lot of things that inspire you to become a lawyer and further work upon it.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely.
So how did your education and experience prepare you to the practice of law?
See, what I believe is what is taught in law school is totally different what is happening in courts. But yeah, definitely the teachings and our, the curriculum that we are taught in law school definitely help us. But the actual things which happen in court is totally different. Okay, so I strongly suggest all my fellow students and everyone, those who are pursuing LLB, to definitely do running internships as well as the summer internships. I remember while in my first year of law school, I thought that okay यार अभी तो school खत्म हुआ है, अभी college में जाके थोड़ी मस्ती करनी है, तो इस साल नहीं करते internship. And I really feel that I should have done it in my first year. Though from my second year onwards, I was regular in doing my internships. But the court experiences, that helps you a lot, I must say. An individual or a student, whoever believes that they want to be a good lawyer someday, should definitely go to courts and must start observing their seniors, the fellow associates, or maybe the other interns who are with them, because experience makes a huge difference in this field. So yeah, that is how things are, and definitely the things that are taught in school, law school, I must say, definitely come handy in the real world.
Mm.
Paying a kind attention to your teachers is a must thing then.
Right. So do you believe that we have to maintain a balance between being in law school and also going to courts and doing internships?
Definitely, there has to be a balance. There has to be, you have to be, at par with your studies as well. There were some friends of mine who were, ignoring classes at college, and they were doing more of internships, which might have come handy to them. But, the knowledge and what is taught in law school definitely helps us to, groom us better. The laws which are taught to us, one cannot be sure at, initial stages what field they want to enter into. So learning at your, college never goes to a waste. One must always go to their college, attend their classes, and after that, one can definitely go for internships. There's ample of time. You can do online internships in these COVID times. You might have seen people are doing seminars. We are doing lecture here,
Yeah.
or whatever we might say. So that is how things are. One must always do a balance between them. Definitely.
Right. With the aspect of COVID-19, there have been many webinars that are being organized. Also, there are many
Correct.
online internships. So we have seen a whole different way of how internships are conducted now. So it's pretty interesting. And we are
Hmm.
obviously using platforms like Zoom and Google Meet and everything. So going ahead, what do you think makes a good lawyer?
What makes a good lawyer? Okay, so I believe there will be a subject in, there was one subject in my law school in my curriculum. So it was about the court crafts and ethics. So there are a lot of, there's a long list which says that a good lawyer should be, should have good oratory skills. He must be a good listener. He must be having a good knowledge. So these are actually the things which does come handy. But I believe one of them is a good listener, I must say. Being a good listener is one of the things which I believe a lawyer should have. Not just because it helps you, get to know the what other side is trying to say, but it helps you. You should take your time, you should analyze, and then you should come with a rebuttal, or later on you should come with your arguments. So that does I constitute it as an integral part of being a lawyer. Apart from that, I believe the way one carries themselves in the courts. There have been a lot of people I aspire, the senior advocates, the senior counsels, just seeing them as a class apart. They're too good with their arguments, too good how they deal with courts, how they communicate in the court. That leaves a tremendous impression upon the court as well as your fellow associates. So
Right.
a good listener, I must say, oratory skills are definitely required for a good advocate. Apart from that, yeah, how you carry yourself in court.
Okay. So a follow-up question for you. How did you develop great oratory skills?
I have been initially, I must say, I was a bit reluctant in college to participate in. As I said, अभी तो यार school से है क्या करना है सब college में तो मस्ती होती है. But definitely with more internships, by interacting with colleagues and all those, I realized that being one must participate in other activities in college as well as apart from college. You can apart from doing law internships, there are a lot of other things that a student can do in their law school. One of my friend was into dramatics, the dramatic society in my college at Vivekananda Institute of Professional Studies. So that does help you to develop a good oratory skills. Your expressions are improved. Apart from that, one must do MUNs. I have been a regular participant of MUN. I was later on I joined my organization committee at college. So these things help us a lot. Apart from that, regular court visits, because what happens in court is totally different. Observing your seniors does come handy, definitely.
Okay. So what is the major mistake do you think that law students make?
The same thing that I said. School में तो यार बहुत पढ़ाई कर ली, मजे कर लेते हैं. But yeah, apart from having fun is also an important task. Socializing is one of the key things which I believe a lawyer should do, or a law student must do, because the people you'll socialize with might help you in future. to bring up new clients to you. Maybe they'll impart you with some knowledge, or they'll share their experiences, which would come handy. The other mistake which I believe some of the students do is not doing internships, or thinking of leaving the internship part or going to the code part aside and focusing on studies. Apart from that, there should be other co-curricular activities. For example, they should be indulgent in moots, and moreover should go to other colleges for doing any kind of activities which they might like. Some one of my friend was in our college band, and he later on went to Nalsar and won best performer. So these things does come handy, and he was able to get a few friends from there. So these things should be inculcated by the law students, I believe.
Okay, you rightly said that. I think networking is one of the things that we are supposed to do, and with platforms like
Definitely.
LinkedIn going ahead is really easy. I've seen really many lawyers right now going online, making YouTube videos and sharing their experiences. So I can understand how networking will help one grow. So, what are your
Definitely.
views about the legal system? As you have done many internships and you have recently working with the company, so what do you think are the what are your views about the legal system? How do you see the legal system from your eyes?
Legal system, the most dynamic thing, I believe, with the Supreme Court not, taking a break during the COVID-19, the courts have recently started doing their hearings through WebEx meetings, I believe you might be aware of. And apart from that, recently Delhi High Court here has also given, the district courts as well to conduct regular hearings through WebEx. Since the COVID pandemic is ever increasing, the cases in Delhi have actually reduced, but still, it is very good to see that courts are adapting themselves and bringing and adopting a modern technology. I was previously attending a webinar, in which Honorable Justice D.Y. Chandrachud was there, and he has been, the organizing. Maybe he's part of the organizing thing of electronic medium through in which courts are functioning. He was also of the same view that it is a high time that courts start adapting themselves to the latest technology. And I believe there have been some courts where the live proceedings are also visible to the courts. Yeah,
Okay, so how was your experience with virtual courts?
it is really good. At times, there has been a few connectivity errors. Apart from that, I believe that it is the most convenient thing right now. So since I live in Pitampura in Delhi, and High Court is at somewhere in central Delhi, I have to travel at least an hour and
Mm.
get there, make arguments in front of the judges, then come back to my office. So it takes around 2 to 3 hours. And with video conferencing, that could be done easily within a half an hour period. I just have to make my arguments. I can disconnect, then we can follow on with our other activities.
Oh,
So that is how. And legal system, there are always certain discrepancies which are there, but always there have been a lot of rectifications which have been going on. I believe we'll improve as time goes on, and we are improving.
right. So, do you think that virtual courts can somehow take place of real courts?
They can not take place of the real coach, but yeah, they can actually, substantiate it. They can add on to them. There are certain, not so important proceedings during a trial or during a suit, which needs to be, attended by counsel physically. That can easily be done through online medium. So I believe that substitution of proceedings has to be done. Things which have to be necessarily done in the court, like cross examinations, at times examination in chiefs of the criminals and of those who are accused of some crimes. That can definitely be done in court in the presence of the judge, so that the judge can see their demeanor. But other proceedings which just involves exchanging of documents, making certain written arguments, certain arguments can easily be done through these methods. I believe this is a new way in which courts can really function very well.
Right. It's very refreshing to see how the legal industry has embraced the virtual courts. So let's move on.
Yeah.
So can you elaborate on a situation where you were unsuccessful and how you handled it?
Okay, so there was this one case recently during the COVID-19 times. There was one of my client who has been falsely accused of some crime and was in custody for around more than 90 days, which is a statutory, time before a
Right.
charge sheet has to be filed. So I made my pleadings for bail before the lower court, district courts, which was actually declined. But I was pretty adamant that the it should be admitted. The person should be released on bail because first of all, the charge sheet was not filed. Apart from that, there were other things. They were not direct evidences. They were not material evidences against him, which the police could have furnished. So judge was not convinced there, which I accepted. But definitely, I went to the higher court. We got that bail. So the thing is, one must not, always lose hope. One must, if they're pretty sure, if they're pretty confident what they are doing is right, they must follow that. So that is my motto, and I follow that.
Right. Thank you so much for the answer. So what is your major achievement till now?
Achievement, I would say, uh, during college, I believe there was one moot competition in which around, I don't want to brag here, but there were around 200 students apart from me and my friend. We were in a team, so those who participated, and almost all of them from each semester, all the students in our college, there were around 250 participants who participated in that competition of moot, and I and my friend, we came first. So I believe that was my achievement during the college times. And currently, I believe this particular bail, which I was talking about earlier, in the courts while I started practicing, this was one good case because the sections under which the person was accused of were quite they were quite stringent, and there were strict penalties if he would have been later on found guilty. But yeah, we have secured a good bail, and the case is pretty strong for us right now. So I'm quite happy with that.
Right. So congratulations on your major achievements. And we are going to move on to the next question, which is, so what is your routine work?
My dream work would be the same thing. Dream work is when you have ample of cases with you in the field of law and your practice is good. That is what I believe right now is pretty much it. But as I see my senior counsels and senior advocates that I have interacted with, what they believe is that not merely just having work, but imparting, being able to provide justice to the needy is also one more key aspect which one must focus on. I would really love to do some pro bono work, as and when I find someone who is in actual need. So that is what I believe should be done by the lawyers, and I also look forward, which might help them, and that would be my greatest achievement.
Right. So what kind of internships have you done and how was your experience?
All right. So I started my internship from second year of my college. I was neglecting my first year college because I wanted to have a lot of fun at that time. But I always believe that, and many of my college teachers also told me, the professors told me, that it is ideal to start from lower courts. And I have also heard many senior advocates as well as judges of the Supreme Court and High Court, which they firmly say that one must always start their practice or their learning from the lower courts. So my second year of internship was at district courts in Delhi. I was working with an advocate in Peace Zari. Thereafter, I again did my internship. So basically, there was a compulsory internship for the month of July in the summer internship in our college. I was doing that time in third year of my college. I did it with a high court judge. Oh, with a high court lawyer, and he was standing counsel in the high court. thereafter, I started doing running internships as well with other advocates. There was one senior advocate. I did an internship with him. Then there was a firm, which was an IPR firm. I did an internship with them. So these all helped me a lot to, gain knowledge of how things actually work in the law field. What we are taught in books is totally different as how is happening in the real life. So that's it.
So what was the best internship that you've done?
My best internship, I would say, was the one with the standing counsel. I said I was in High Court. He was Mr. Amit Mahajan, advocate, and that was one of the best internships because there was some high-profile cases which he was dealing in because he was representing the state, the government of India, and there were quite good names which I can tell you that there were good cases which he was dealing in. I also witnessed a case in which Mr. Jait Milani also appeared in High Court, and I was actually honored to be part of those proceedings, to able to observe them.
Right. So we are all, part and parcel affected by how our internships are. So did you have any bad experiences in internships? Because you're an inspiration for all the people who are young and, upcoming. So would you like to share any experiences of bad internships in case you had some?
I wouldn't call them bad apart from, I believe there is, as interns are actually paid less. That is only the bad experience I believe that one must feel. But if one must ignore that, I believe there cannot be any bad experience with anyone apart from that. There are certain things which your seniors might say to you, they might scold you for your mistakes, but one must not take them to heart, or one must try to learn from them. So I made a little mistake during the course of court, for which one of my seniors, he not scolded me per se, but yeah, he was quite strict enough to call me, and he tried to rectify my mistake. I felt a little bad at once, but yeah, I'll realize that it is for my good only, and that actually helped me. And I thereafter I tried to inculcate all those things which he tried to tell me. So these things actually came handy. Listening to your seniors is one good thing you should do during your internships.
Right. So continuing forward, what do you think the seniors have supported you? Like what areas have they supported you in? And has their support meant anything to you?
I believe the most important support one can get is during their research skills first, and second is for drafting of the documents or the cases that you do. Having good research skills is one of the key things that help you in having an edge in your case. If you are aware of the latest laws, you're aware of the latest guidelines or the latest judgment, that does come handy. So one of my associate, I would say, there was in my internship there was an associate who actually helped me in doing researches. I was unaware of how Manupatra works or how things are. So he guided me through the systems, and he even told me how to go through a file and search for the relevant paras, relevant provisions which have to be countered in a case. So research skill is one. Second was definitely how you prepare arguments and how you prepare your draft of the petition which you're trying to file or whatever you're trying to convey to the court. So there was a advocate with whom I was interning. He told me to draft a petition. I said I have never drafted one. He said just do it. Write what you think should be added. And once I made a draft petition, I asked some of my friends, the associates who were working. They were helpful enough to provide me with the draft, and I just saw it. I prepared one. I presented it in front of the advocate with whom I was interning, and he was gracious enough to guide me to the things that should be inculcated, those should be removed, and that actually helped me to develop my drafting skills over the time.
Okay, great answer. So, I love your responses on what internships are all about, and I think the other law students would also like to know that if we are going for an internship, what should we look for in the internship to learn?
One must look for everything. One must observe whatever thing the mentor is doing, whatever the advocate with whom you're interning is doing, what his associates are doing. That is also a key aspect. In my first internship at these Zari courts and district courts in Delhi, I was actually initially for few days I was running with the clerk of my mentor, the advocate. So even the clerk, who was actually 20 years into the clerkship, gave me tremendous knowledge of how things work in court, especially the district courts where things are haphazard. I must say they're all unorganized,
Right.
but things are definitely improving in there. But he gave me immense information of how things can be done in district courts, how one must apply for a certified copy, or how you have to do a filing. So even those people whom you might believe that, okay, this is not my work, but they can actually help you there. All people in your office would actually help you if you have that, in you, that you want to inculcate the knowledge. Each and every person in a firm or with your advocate who's working with them would definitely help you in grooming yourself as an advocate or as a law student.
Okay. So this is going to be the last question for the session. So what do you think lies in the future for you? What can we see you doing in the future?
I believe you might find my name in few journals or newspapers in coming time, and I believe you might see me doing more seminars in the coming future. Also, I believe one must always strive for better things, strive for better cases, try to deliver justice by imparting justice through these courts and fighting for justice. So I'm pretty adamant on doing so, and helping whoever needs help can definitely always contact me. So that is one thing I believe I am trying to strive on.
Right. So people who are watching can contact Advocate Sahil Khurana on his LinkedIn. And thank you so much, sir, for being here. We had a really good session with you, and this is going to be the first, golden session for Law Talkies. And thank you so much for being here. And thank you.
It was an honor. It was an honor. Thank you a lot.
Thank you, sir. Okay, done.